Andrew Carnegie had the greatest quote that I ever heard on this subject. He said, "The older I get, the less I listen to what people say, and the more I watch what they do. Because what they do is a true indication of who they are." Very important quote. The older I get, the less I listen to what people say, and the more I watch what they do. Because what they do is a true indication of who they are. So going to seminars like this is wonderful. We thank you for being here. We want you to take the information and put it to use. Just like when you go to family reunion or masterminds or mega camps or anywhere else that you may be going for education and training, going there is wonderful. To some degree it's irrelevant unless you put it to use. So we've got to get you into action. So here's the 8 principles. Promises are more powerful than goals. Now it pains me to say this because I've written books about goal setting. I've done hundreds of seminars about goal settings, about goal setting. But I will have to honestly say setting goals does not work. And here's the statistical evidence for it. Less than 15% of people who set goals ever accomplish them. However, over 90% of people who make promises will fulfill them. There's a big difference between the word promise and the word goal. What's the difference? What does that feel like to you? When you hear the word promise versus the word goal.
You have to do it.
You have to do it.
You have to do it.
You're committed to do it.
Yeah.
Your integrity is on the line, right? Goals are sort of like New Year's resolutions. We fully intend to carry them out. However, we will allow obstacles and challenges to get in the way to knock us off the path. With promises, we will not do that. Once we make this, we've been taught since we're that tall, right? Never make a promise we don't intend to keep. A promise is a promise. Those of you who have children, have you ever made a promise to your children? What happens after you make them the promise? Yeah, they remind you of it every 30 seconds. And listen, if you don't fulfill that promise, they will never allow you to forget it. That's how powerful the word promise is. So every one of our clients, we have them rip up their goals, and we have them rewrite them as promises. Everything says, "I promised you, I promised you, I promised you." It takes courage to do that. And why does it take courage to write out the words, "I promised you"?
It's scary.
It's scary because now we're accountable.
We're committed.
We're committed. We have to do it. We have to do it now. Those of you, is anybody here using the 411 sheet? Okay, for those of you who are using it, right across the top of that 411 sheet, "I promise to." And that's going to, in a sense, force you to do a couple of things. The first thing it's going to do is really make you be honest with yourself as to whether or not you're fully committed to what you're working on. The second thing it's going to do is it's going to force you to decide whether or not it's realistic for you or not. Am I really committed to this or not?